Shared e-scooters get the green light to return to Chicago streets this spring. This after City Council voted to approve the project. WTTW News reporter Heather Cherone was there and joins us now with more details on that and other happenings from today's City Council meeting. Heather, welcome back. So first, let's hear from Transportation Committee Chair Alderman Howard Brookins about today's passing of the shared scooter project.
I believe that if we're going to talk the talk, we need to walk the walk. And that, one, our environment is slowly dying, and we really need to do anything that we can to go to electrification. There is a learning curve, and there are going to be some growing pains, and I'm not going to tell anybody that we're going to get it right immediately, but ultimately I believe that we are stepping in the right direction for our city and for the environment.
So Heather, what can Chicagoans expect this spring?
Well, once the winter eases, 6,000 scooters could hit the streets, and they will be allowed to go anywhere in the city except the Lakefront Trail. Now, during the city's two pilot programs of a shared e-scooter program, the scooters were banned from downtown and the 606 Trail, but the scooters will be allowed to go anywhere, although there are rules in place to ensure that there are e-scooters on the south and west side under Mayor Lori Lightfoot's commitment to equity to make sure that this isn't just in tourist-heavy areas of the city.
But we know that there was also some opposition. Let's take a listen to that.
I have concerns that we're going to continue to see a rise of where I have to go out or send someone from my staff to go out to report these issues to 311, to try to hold them accountable, to focus on being the scooter police when I have more than enough to do in my ward as alderman.
Heather, I think some of us remember those funny posts of scooter fails. Does this plan address any of these concerns?
Well, it attempts to. During the first pilot program of the scooter test, the scooters could just be left anywhere. They didn't have to be locked up. The second pilot program required riders to lock up their scooters. And when this program starts in the spring, that will again be the rules. Now, the scooters have always been banned on sidewalks to protect pedestrians and those in wheelchairs. The scooters that will hit the streets in the spring will have an alarm similar to the "you're not wearing your seatbelt" alarm that you hear in cars to make sure that people don't ride them on the sidewalks. Now, several aldermen are skeptical that that will keep scooters off the sidewalks, especially in areas like Edgewater, where Sheridan Road is known as being a somewhat perilous place for pedestrians and bikers vying for that beautiful lakefront access. So a lot of aldermen had concerns that the program doesn't do enough to give them enough control over what happens in their ward, a perennial complaint of alder people.
So moving on to the budget, of course, the mayor spoke about her proposed budget after today's meeting. Let's listen to some of that.
This budget will do a lot, and we need everyone to join in. So if you're listening and you believe, as I do, that this is an important moment for us to move forward together, to make a statement that will resound for generations to come about what we can do to change the trajectory of people's lives in this city, call your alderman and tell them, vote for the budget.
Heather, any action on this? What's next?
Well, today was the public hearing, which was Chicagoans' only opportunity to weigh in on the $16.7 billion budget. And there were two notable speakers. One, Lawrence Mazzal from the Civic Federation, a nonpartisan watchdog group, endorsed the budget plan, but said that he remains concerned about the city's long-term financial position because the city has huge pension bills and a lot of debt. Also voicing opposition was Jack Lavin, the CEO of the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, saying that small businesses cannot handle the property tax hike, which is included in this budget. And that property tax is designed to cover the rise in the cost of inflation, as well as to start paying off the city's massive infrastructure program that was approved as part of last year's budget. So those are two really big issues that we will have to wait and see. The next meeting is set for October 25th. 25th, and the budget is expected to be adopted by Halloween. So we're moving pretty fast here.
Okay. And also, did City Council pass any other measures today?
They did. They issued the final landmark status for the home of blues icon Muddy Waters. He lived and recorded in a North Oakland 2-flat, which will be permanently preserved as a museum thanks to the work of his great-granddaughter. And it is designed to pay homage to all of the Chicagoans who made the blues such a cultural impact from Chicago, and to recognize those African Americans who moved to Chicago as part of the Great Migration just several decades ago.
Okay, Heather Cherone, busy day at City Hall for you. Thanks as always.
Thanks, Brandis.
And you can read Heather's full story on our website. That's at WTTW.com/news.